Braun, the commissioner, and he's been at the table with this project from day one, and it's been a lot of hours on his part too. So Barry, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Brian. First of all, I'd like to thank the provincial and federal governments and for their part in this. We wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for them. It might be a year from now we'd be standing here because all of the hardworking volunteers were out there raising funds, and they've done a superior job. However, we're able to make this happen a little quicker because of the two other levels of government, and that's excellent. I'd also like to take the opportunity to just thank the numerous number of volunteers that have been involved with this from day one, which was approximately 4 years ago. It was driven by the kids, it was started by the kids and the youth in this community, and although those faces have changed over time, they graduated, moved away, college, wherever they might be, there were younger kids that came in and took their place. And that is still happening to this day. We are in the process of arranging kind of a management committee for the youth park. And it will involve members of the Youth Park Inc. Association, which includes a number of youth. So we're looking forward to working with the youth and the operation of this park once it's completed, with hopes to open the full park May long weekend of 2010. I'd also like to thank what I believe is a major stakeholder in this venture, in this initiative, and that's the Prince Edward County Fair Board. As you see, they're very busy getting ready for the fair. They've made numerous accommodations for the construction of the park, but more than that, it's the support that they provided by supporting the location. As many of you know, there was issues about the location when we first started this, and it was the Fair Board that came to us and said, that's the right location. This is where it should be. This is a family facility. It's the main gathering place for the residents of Prince Edward County, and we think the youth park should be here. And they've supported it from day one, and they continue to support it, and I'd like to thank them for their support. I'd also like to acknowledge one of our members who has taken ill recently, Mr. Don King, who has worked on this project. He's a previous mayor of the town of Picton, and he's taken ill recently. He's in the hospital in Kingston right now, I believe. And I just want to say that our prayers are going out to him. He worked very hard to help with this project over the last year and a half, and we hope that he's well soon and can join us again with the committee. Thank you once again, volunteers, and people like Councillor Marisett and Councillor Campbell have also been at the table basically from day one with this group and this initiative and this project. So there's been a lot of people involved at all levels here, and that's the way, as Daryl says, that's the way communities work, and that's why things get done in this community is through the efforts of everybody that's involved. So thank you for all your help. Brian?
Thank you, Barry. I'm sure everybody's prayers are with Don King. It's a tragic sudden illness that struck him, and he certainly taught us a lot at some pretty tense moments. He was there, and I'll never forget the saying he always had, a fact's a fact, and that's a fact. So hopefully Don will get better and be able to rejoin us. So I guess at the same time, I'd like to acknowledge too, Councillor Campbell and myself have been at the table with this term of council and the latter part of the previous one. We had another councillor, and that was the late Councillor Ron Everall, who was had an ability to connect with children like no other person that I've ever met, and he certainly was instrumental in getting the project off to the right track and setting the process so that it would be a youth-oriented, youth-driven project. And I think without Ron's involvement at that time, maybe this would have been a different project. So I just have to say thank you to the family of Ron Everall. Some are here today, and some are involved with the Fair Board. Larry Everall was one of the representatives of the fair board that sat on the design committee put a lot of time in there to make sure that it fit and that, you know, there wouldn't be any issues, and he was there to make it work. There was no question about that. So I just wanted to mention that. Now, speaking of people who have been with the project for a long time, there's one person that's been here from longer than any of us and was the one that came and asked for initial support, and that's Andrew MacKay. So Andrew, would you like to step forward and say a few words? All right.
Well, thanks everybody. I decided to bring our future family skateboarder along. She really wanted to be with me, but she doesn't want to be visible. So it's hard to believe it's been 5 years since we started working on this project. I can remember sitting around a table with a dozen or so teenagers and just dreaming, like, what should this skate park look like? And back then it was just about skate parks, and it's grown to become something so much bigger, and something that we also didn't really imagine in the beginning was how many volunteers, how many people would come and contribute to this project, to making it so incredible. In spring of 2005 was when it really, things started coming together. There must have been hundreds of volunteers, both teenagers and adults, and I want to thank you all, from organizing dances to competitions to concerts to selling t-shirts. I mean, these teenagers who are now young adults just poured their hearts and souls into this project, and I am so proud of them. I've always known that Prince Edward County was an amazing place, and well, I think that this project is kind of proof of that. I mean, yes, we have the obvious beauty here in Prince Edward County, but I think what really makes the county so amazing is the people. We have this small, tight-knit community who, when there's a need, we pitch in, we group together, and we make something happen. And that's what happened in this project. Today we're celebrating a groundbreaking of a youth park, but I think it's something a little bigger than that as well. I think that we're celebrating the mark of a successful community. Through your hard work and through your cooperation with each other, this has been made possible. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Andrew, and I'm sure the community owes you a lot, or youth owe you a lot, 'cause I know that you were there for a long time. You put a lot of hours in, and you know, when there was nobody else available, let's call Andrew, and he got called a lot. So thank you, Andrew. It's a great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. We had a youth advisory committee at council, and it was an initiative of several councillors got together and felt it was important that we have a liaison with the youth in our community. And our next speaker is now the ambassador for the Prince Edward County Agri Society, and she, I believe, served as chair of the youth advisory for a while and came to council and helped to champion this project. So Natalie, would you like to speak?
First of all, I'd like to applaud every single volunteer that worked tirelessly to put tons of hours and energy into making this project. Your dedication and perseverance have finally paid off. This skate park is one of the very few in the surrounding area, and I can say with pride that Prince Edward County has one of the greatest skate parks around, or will very shortly. About 3 or 4 years ago, I attended a council meeting and spoke on behalf of the skate park as the chairman of the Youth Advisory Committee. And I was urging the council to please support this venture because I thought our community can use something like this. We have so many youth out there that I think it's very important for a community to support them. I'd also like to say that while I was on that committee, I had the chance to work with the late Ron Everall, and I think that he 100% supported the community. This skate park has been dedicated in honor of him, and I think that he would be very happy to see it completed. His wife, Mary, told me one of his favorite quotes, which I think applies perfectly to all involved